Hello.
All right, well, you cut out. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I'm here. Hi.
Okay.
Okay. I can hear you again. Good.
Okay.
That's good.
All seriousness, welcome to Talking Film. I will give you pretty much the major movie news for the past 2 weeks. My name is Daniel, and you already know that's Nick. We might as well get started. And pretty much all we're going to talk about is sequels. The big movie news pretty much the past 2 weeks. So the first one is, of course, our favorite movie studio ever, who we usually always talk about, like every show.
Is that Marvel?
No, it's Fairy Tales. Our favorite discussion ever. It's our favorite topic. We love talking about this. We're so positive towards Disney just pumping out more fairy tale films because we just
I know.
We definitely need them.
I've started a fan club. We have T-shirts. Go Disney fairy tales. Mary Poppins gets a remake. Yay! That's yeah. Long live Mary Poppins the sequel. That's my T-shirt at the moment. You just can't see it because it's just out of screen, out of frame.
I thought you were being serious about that for a second. Okay. Collider broke the news about the development on the follow-up Disney musical smash hit, Enchanted. The sequel will be titled Disenchanted, currently with Anne Fletcher from the proposal attached to the film. Okay, Nick, we all know you're looking forward to another film.
I can't keep myself together. I can't. Honestly, I'm just laughing at this point. I'm like, although this one's not surprising. This one makes more sense than the hundreds that have come before. Like, this is a recent film, like an actual sequel in that same world that's tied canonically makes so much more sense than the 50-year-old Mary Poppins. So much more. I mean, I'm not going to go on about that Mary Poppins. This is going to be a recurring theme. Now, the Mary Poppins thing is going to be like this recurring joke that's going to make all of our viewers turn off. But I'm going to hammer at it. I'm going to just continue on that. Like, Mary Poppins is a bad idea. Disenchanted at least sounds a little bit cool. Like, I didn't like the first one very much. I did at the time when I was like 12, but now it's like, yeah. It's a cool idea, like the whole live action mixed with the live action fairy tale musical kind of thing. It's a cool idea, but the execution was a bit bleh. Maybe that's me. Maybe you have a different opinion. I don't know. All I know is Disenchanted makes it sound really dark and gritty, and I think this is going to be the Batman Begins of Disney fairy tales.
Okay. I can't really remember. I don't know if I even seen Enchanted or not. I really do not remember that movie at all. So I probably haven't seen the movie yet.
I hear it. They have the soundtrack. You know, all the songs. They have not the words to them, but just the music of the songs plays on at my work on repeat.
Well, the song I've heard the songs, so that's the
thing.
They're good songs. They're catchy.
What are the songs in? Okay, continue on your thoughts, and I need to find what the song is again.
How does she know? What else is there? I forgot another one.
What's the one that always plays? As soon as I see the title, I'll be able to sing the whole song for you, which is going to be the highlight of this.
That'd be interesting. Well, while you do that, I'll get my thoughts on
the very first one. That's it.
I think Enchanted.
Dreaming of a true love's kiss. I know the musical, not the music, not the lyrics. So it's it works well for my deep, manly voice. Anyway, we'll move on from this.
Yes, please. I think I think a sequel to Enchanted should have happened ages ago. I know it's been in development for a very long time, but I feel like now, why bother when you're pretty much rebooting your fairy tale films in live action right now? That is that's what's doing well for Disney right now. Why go on with a follow up for a film that was released 8 years ago? But
Because it
then
works
again,
Pixar.
it's Disney. I mean, Tron Legacy was a sequel that took what, like 18 years to finally come out.
There's a movie coming out this year. I think that's a sequel to a movie that was released over 30 years ago. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, that's right. It's called Star Wars. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The time is nothing. Like Back to the Future 4 is going to come out soon. Probably.
But Star Wars.
Time is not a factor in how long distance between sequels they can, like, it's not a factor. I can't wait for the entire Harry Potter reboot, just in 5 years' time, where we start from Philosopher's Stone again and go all the way through to Deathly Hallows.
No.
Starring Daniel Radcliffe's child.
We don't need any more Harry Potter reboots. Well, we don't need any of them to begin with. Full stop.
I can't wait. Yeah, it'll be Daniel Radcliffe's daughter playing Harry Potter this time. Like, he'll have his daughter, and then or when J.K. Rowling releases the entire the spin-off series that's set 10 years in the future, starring is it Lily Luna?
Who?
His daughter, Harry Potter's daughter, Lily Luna, right?
I don't know.
Yo, how do you know it? Oh, okay. You haven't read the books though, have you?
No. I've only read one.
That's probably, I don't think I've mentioned the books, but he has 3 children. Okay, we're getting off topic now. Back to the topic.
Okay, well, back to topic. Star Wars is a much iconic brand compared to Enchanted. I feel like Enchanted is like Frozen, right? Like now.
But I think Enchanted's more popular than you think. I think Enchanted's more popular than you think. I think that, in all seriousness, now, I think I've seen it's probably really popular among kids. It's not like The Lion King or Frozen, which is going to last generationally, but it's something that's kind of a very younger girls. I know it's kind of stereotyping based on gender, but this really is a movie. It really is a movie that's targeted towards girls and young girls. So not teenage girls, not even 12-year-old girls. It's 6-year-old girls that the target audience of Enchanted, and that's a target market that Disney, in its future slate, doesn't really have anything going for it. Like Frozen and hits that kind of audience. It appeals to a wider audience, but it definitely hits the young girl audience very, very, very hardly. You trust me, I have seen thousands and thousands of girls dressed up as Elsa, and a couple of dressed up as Anna as well, but mostly they're dressed up as Elsa. They're all about 5, 6, 7 years old. I see it all the time. They think they're the only person to ever have that dress too. I think, but if you think about Disney's animated slate coming up, it's much more Big Hero 6 kind of audience. It's much more like even Moana. It's very Lilo and Stitch. It's not Tangled, Frozen, Princess and the Frog. They don't really have anything like that until Frozen 2. So I think Enchanted fills that gap, that target market gap, and that's why they thought they'd decide to make a sequel.
Okay. Although no one's dressed as Gazelle after all these years, so I don't know.
Good point.
How...
No one really dresses as anybody but Elsa. It's really just Elsa. I see boys dress as Batman and Spider-Man, and girls dress as Elsa.
Which is why Disney's doing Frozen 2, where Frozen is still on its peak of its popularity. This should have just happened years ago.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. But I do think that you can't know for sure how popular Enchanted is. Well, we won't know until it comes out, the sequel. But we can't know now because we're not 6-year-old girls.
Okay. I just don't know. I don't know. Like lately, sequels have been it's either hit or miss, especially this year with like Ted 2 and Magic Mike 2 not doing as nearly as well as their previous outings. So we're now with all these years that you have the brand really has to be quite strong to last.
I know, but is Ted the same as Enchanted?
No.
That's a terrible comparison. I mean, yes, the R-rated, like Magic Mike and Ted are probably very similar in terms of like adult content, and so their bombing may be indicating some sort of pattern. But I'm telling you now, Enchanted, if it does bomb, is not going to bomb because Ted 2 bombed.
What do you think of the title? What do you think of the title, Disenchanted, and not just calling it straight
right.
up?
It sounds darker. No, I don't know. It's just.
So do you think based on the title, we're not going to see the Amy Adams returning? We're going to be going maybe even new cast of characters.
Who knows? Either way, it doesn't really matter. They could do an entire new like kind of story set within that world that doesn't involve any of the original characters, and who knows?
Do you think people will watch it if they don't bring Amy Adams back and not the original cast?
I think it could work or fail either way. It depends on how popular that original story is for its characters and how popular it is for its, I don't want to say, visual style. It's going from animation to live action and its musical style. If they don't necessarily need the characters, they just need to retain the feel of the film if they're going to appeal to that original audience. Because I honestly don't think that the characters are memorable in that film, the original, but the gimmickiness of the film itself is the memorable part, not the characters.
Yeah, it's more sort of like a satire and parody of Disney's fairy tales, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Okay. I think we better move on.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more of that Enchanted. The next one is that we are going to be getting more Transformers films. We're going to get Transformers 5 and Transformers 6 and Transformers 7 and number. Apparently, they're having like a 10-year structure or something timeline for these next 4 Transformers sequels. What do you think, Nick?
I want to know where. Like, I'm so anticipating Optimus Prime Origins. That the prequel to the whole franchise starring Optimus Prime, and that's what I want.
Screw that! We have to bring Mark Wahlberg back.
Autobots Origins Optimus Prime, and then Autobots Origins Bumblebee, and Decepticon Origins Starscream, Megatron. I don't know. This is the beginning. This is where can't you see the possibilities? This sets off a chain reaction of endless possibilities. Where like that car that was in the background of the first film can have his own movie. How like this is just endless possibilities. I'm so pumped for this. So hyped. So yeah, Transformers. Yeah, long live.
Now being serious.
Now being serious. Now being serious.
I'm done. I'm over. I can't
predictable. That's really the only word I can think of. It's not something that I'm disappointed by, and it's not something that I'm excited by. It's just something that's going to exist, and I totally accept its existence, and I'm not going to fight it. It's just you're going to have to do a really good 5th one in order to convince me to see the 6th, 7th, and 8th ones.
Yep.
Like I'm already dubious about the 5th one, especially now Michael Bay is coming back. Apparently, that's confirmed, right?
Not confirmed yet.
No, not confirmed. Okay, so if Michael Bay does come back, that's gonna. If Michael Bay's coming back, there's no hope for the 5th one. We have to wait till Michael Bay has a tragic accident and
Oh.
can no longer.
I might
Can no
not like
longer.
this film, but I wouldn't, you know.
I don't mean I don't mean him dying. I just mean him actually losing functionality of his tongue, maybe, so he can't direct, or his arms, so he can't film. maybe. Just saying. We
Well,
just can't keep Michael Bay away from these films. Maybe we just have to. I don't know.
I think
Let him go quietly.
I think now we should just accept the fact of just the Transformers film. How about
That's what I mean when I said
have the same mentality with the Fast and Furious films to Transformers now? We should just take them as they are now. Doesn't mean if they're good or bad.
That's a different thing. The Fast and Furious films are stupid, and most of them aren't that great. There's a couple of pretty fun ones in there, but they don't take themselves very seriously. Transformers takes itself pretty seriously, even though it's really, really bad.
Yeah, the Decepticons always coming back. I don't understand that.
It's like they're trying to tell a compelling story still when it's not compelling. They're pretending
Transformers Age of Ultron.
They pretend like they've got actual narratives. The Transformers films are like the equivalent of those the women the women that wear a fat suit to see if guys are in it for personality or appearance, and it's the inversion of that. Instead of wearing a fat suit, they're wearing a skinny suit, and so in fact they pretend they have substance, but they don't. That was a really bad analogy, but you know what I mean, right?
I was trying to.
They aren't what they. Oh my god! There's more to the films. There's less to the films than meets the eye.
Should have just said that.
Does that make sense? That's what I was trying to say. I kind of came out off as offensive, but I meant that they are skinnier than they appear.
Even though the films are sort of fat, if you consider the films go for like over 3 hours long.
No, I'm talking about like if you're basically an ignorant person, you'll see them as masterpieces. Whereas if you have actually seen good films, you'll realize how terrible they are. I nearly slurred, but we've got to remember we have children watching, so terrible.
Well, I don't know what they can do. They've got the next 10 years mapped, just like the MCU. So it'll be interesting to see what they'll do with the Transformers franchise.
Yeah, they're just copying the Avengers model, which is annoying because like Jurassic World made more money. Like now they should be copying the Jurassic World model.
Jurassic Transformers.
They already did that.
Yeah, they did.
All right, better move on for that one too. We've lost too many viewers already.
Speaking about Universal and robots, Universal Pictures has moved Pacific Rim 2 away from its original release date of August 4th, 2017, now replacing by Pitch Perfect 3, to an unknown, unspecified date. However, rest assured, the sequel is still currently in development. Now we'll talk about the big robot films.
Because I always go first. You go first this time.
Okay. Man, I don't know where to begin. I don't know if this is because they want more development. I feel like the sequel's been developed for quite a while. I mean, the first film came out in 2013. We're waiting all the way till 2017. Now probably even 2018 for Pacific Rim 2 now. I feel like the sequel's just getting dragged out even longer. I talked about time gap with Enchanted, and Pacific Rim falls into that. I don't know if that can hold the time gap it's getting at the moment.
It's already starting to lose it.
Yeah, but I don't. I feel like they moved Pacific Rim 2 just so they could have Pitch Perfect 3 not competing against Christopher Nolan. But in that retrospect, Pitch Perfect 3 shouldn't have moved from Christopher Nolan anyway, because I don't think Christopher Nolan has had any movie that has grossed over $70 million in its opening weekend that's not The Dark Knight. So I think they just moved it for Pitch Perfect. Maybe it's coming out October 2017 or something. I don't know, but then again, I don't know if it's going to get cancelled or anything. I'm not sure. I know I can't pronounce his name. Del Toro. I can never pronounce his first name, but I know he keeps saying that they are still working on the sequel. It's still in development.
Guillermo.
I can't remember.
Guillermo del Toro.
But he keeps tweeting about the sequel's still happening. It's still coming. So. But then again, I don't know if Universal has any faith in that sequel, so I don't know.
I highly, highly doubt they have any faith financially in the sequel. Creatively is a totally different story. It might be an amazing, amazing masterpiece of a film. It could be better than the first one. It could be a deep exploration of the human condition. But what it definitely isn't is a financial guarantee at the box office, because, as you say, it is the first Pacific Rim is losing its footing in the public consciousness, and I think die-hard Del Toro fans are pretty much going to be the majority of its audience if the sequel comes out, and it's going to make as much, if not less, than the first one. I mean, I can understand them cancelling it altogether if they do that, because it seems a surefire financial disaster for them. Think about it. Is there any way you can foresee them making a Pacific Rim 2 that holds up visually and consistently with the first one? So it has to be fairly big budget, without it not living up to that budget. Can you see any way they could make that a financial success?
Not really. That would happen.
I'm gonna predict
how much did the first one cost?
Ever see Pacific Rim 2.
How much did the first one cost? Was it 200?
No, I don't know, but it would have been quite a bit. It would have been 150 at least, surely.
Maybe 100, maybe possibly. But then that Universal would still probably have.
You'd notice the difference in budget, though. It would be so much less. There'd be so much less action if they had $100 million budget. It would be.
That'd be good then. More character development and just put the budget and time.
Yeah, I know, but come on, you've got to admit the best scenes in Pacific Rim 2 are the action scenes. Pacific Rim 1.
That's because while the characters were interesting, there just wasn't enough development for them in the first one.
It's not just that though. It's like that's what Pacific Rim was all about. It was about monsters and robots fighting. That's what it was about. Read my review. It's on the site.
Well, actually, to be honest, while the robot action is pretty cool, my favorite thing was actually the fight between can't remember the names. It was between the guy and the girl. It's like the sort of ninja combat sort of style.
Oh yeah.
Sort of.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was a good. That was really interesting. That was good. The girl was the female character. I can't remember her name, but she was the best character in the film. She was definitely the most developed and
definitely
most interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the. Oh, then again, the guy was pretty good because both of them got at least the. Oh, I guess for her we got
going for, but I could see what Del Toro was going for with the protagonist, but really comes off a little bit wooden compared to the. She's Japanese, right? Japanese girl.
Yeah, Japanese. Yeah. Still better than Transformers.
Still better than. I'm pretty sure. Like I wrote. Like something on the back of a serviette this morning while I was waiting for my coffee, and it was better than Transformers.
Human characters wise, it's better than Transformers. The action's
when we say Transformers, for all those Transformers fans out there, I will concede that the first one is all right. When I say Transformers, I'm talking about the franchise as a whole, and I don't like the franchise as a whole. All right, I think it's kind of fails creatively, and therefore I call Transformers the disgrace to cinema. All right, not the first Transformers, just Transformers films in general, because really it's the second one and the fourth one especially I mean, the second one's terrible, but the fourth one
I
especially
think the
was
first one was
lazy.
terrible.
The fourth one was lazy. Like the second one was all over the
Second
place
was
and
wow. There's no.
disorganized.
Don't
The
hide
fourth
the
one-
second one.
Did you take the fourth one? No special effects. Oh my god. Anyway, anyway, so I don't want to lose the viewership of our Transformers fans because I'll admit that the first one is pretty good film, but then that kind of loses its way from there. So
I haven't
but
seen
true-
the first
but-
one for. I haven't seen the first one for a while. But I remember 3 was being at least fun to watch. At least.
three was fun. It was 3 was about the closest it got to a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It started to the three started to be a little bit more conscious of its silliness. So it started to embrace its own silliness. So that's why number 3 is a little bit better than the others.
We need Shia LaBeouf for Fast and Furious now.
I'm not famous anymore.
Moving on. We've got director Ridley Scott was interviewed by, I think it's Film Future, I think it's called. I don't know what that is pronounced. I think it's a German website. When they were asking him about the next Prometheus sequel, and he said that he's been planning on multiple Prometheus films, and also hints a connection to the Alien franchise. And I don't know if this is official or not, but I also heard that is the second Prometheus film called Alien something? Or
I think it is. Yeah. I don't know if that's official either, but it's very likely. I'm pretty sure it was reported as pretty much. If Prometheus 2 does happen, I think it was Alien Resurrection. Is it Alien?
I don't know. I must have missed that news when they announced the title. I just saw it on Wikipedia, but just because it's Wikipedia, I just can't 100% confirm that if that's real or not. So, but if it is, it's
Alien Paradise Lost. That's what it's called.
Why are they calling it Alien for now? Why?
It's not. I know it's not Prometheus anymore. It's just an Alien movie.
Although I had never seen an Alien film, I've ever seen Prometheus. Maybe it's a good thing calling it that because people really like the first Alien films.
That's obviously why they're calling it that. There might be an actual Prometheus sequel in nature, but then they came up calling it Alien so people see it. But I don't know if that Alien is a draw automatically. Anyway, Alien Paradise Lost.
What's his name? What's the director's name? Chappie? I've lost it. He's the director of Chappie.
Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp. I can't believe I forgot his name. Isn't he developing Alien 5?
Yeah, but that's kind of shelved at the moment. I think.
Okay.
I find it interesting that it's Alien Paradise Lost. I mean, we focused on why it's been changed to Alien, but it's also Paradise Lost is the subtitle, which is like that carries a lot of information in itself. Like Paradise Lost is a poem from the 17th century. It's very well known, very famous, classic literature, and I think it has a biblical. It's a biblical story about the temptation of Adam and Eve by Satan, by the devil, and that obviously that does have that fits in with Prometheus as having a religious kind of theme. Like I think that's interesting in and of itself. Paradise Lost, Alien Paradise Lost. But anyway, maybe that's another discussion for another day.
Couldn't have called it Prometheus Paradise Lost instead?
They could have. That sounds better. Anyway, we obviously wouldn't have sold as many tickets.
Well, then again, we don't really know how financially the Alien brain is. But although if Prometheus did well, then maybe there is. And talking about Lionsgate sequels here, because I had to incorporate one of them because I know you recently saw this film and you obviously loved it. Lionsgate wants to do a sequel to the horror comedy The Cabin in the Woods. And they've also got Sicario, is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
A sequel in development, also at Lionsgate.
Oh, well, I love both of those films. I don't think Cabin in the Woods needs one. Cabin in the Woods doesn't need a sequel, right? It's great as it is. And honestly, you've got to have, if you were to do it, you'd have to have both Joss Whedon and it's Drew Goddard, right? Drew Goddard. You have to both of them back. And I think it wouldn't work the second time. I think it's the novelty of it only works once. I don't think they could, like, maybe a different setting with a different monster. I don't think that would have the same kind of.
I could see.
I could see, but.
The first film, but then again, I agree with you. But then the novelty is gone, so it's sort of like Hangover 2, where that novelty of the Hangover is just a redo, just in a different setting. That would be what Cabin in the Woods 2 would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll have to see. I don't think anything will come of the Cabin in the Woods 2.
No.
Sicario 2, however, that's very, very bizarre. That is strange. Like that's a good comparison to a film I saw last. That's kind of like, to me, another film I can kind of think about last year that I saw, Snowpiercer. Very low key. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people about Sicario since I saw it. Not many people know what it is. Like, not many people have actually, like, I have to remind them, and then they're like, oh yeah, I think I saw a trailer for that somewhere. It's not like something that's everywhere, like at the moment, like The Martian or Everest. It's kind of one of the lower key films, and I know it's had great critical success, and I agree with them, with the critics, but I don't know if it's popular enough, just in general, like by the movie-going public, in order to warrant a sequel. And it's face it, it's mainly an awards movie. It's the beginning of the awards season. We've got The Martian is kind of coming out just in time for awards season as well. Sicario, pretty much the two ones everybody's talking about. Black Mass was a maybe, but then it kind of faltered and died. So it's just rare that they'd have this sort of thing. It's not like they're going to announce Birdman 2 because it had great critical success. It doesn't need a sequel, but saying that, it does leave open the option for a sequel. Like, narratively, it would work, unlike Cabin in the Woods. That's why I like, narratively it would work. There is more to tell, especially with Emily Blunt's character. You could continue going with that. I just don't think it's necessary.
Okay. So you don't think we need an original franchise that's not based on an existing property? And just because there's an award,
franchises are all about being about popularity and big budget, and this would be something new. If Lionsgate did this, it would be a new type of franchise that hasn't been seen before. We've got horror franchises. They're the closest kind of low budget kind of franchises I can think of, but we don't really have small budget horror, small budget drama thriller franchises, right? We don't really have that. Then again, Sicario is a very unique kind of film, I think. But anyway, so in itself, so it would be a new unique franchise. But I know that Lionsgate is searching for franchises. I just don't think this is right. Similar, while we're on Lionsgate, I know you probably don't have this in your stories, but they just announced that they're going to make an adaptation of the Kingkiller Chronicle, which you've probably completely missed, but I didn't miss it because I've read the books, right? And the fantasy novels, the Kingkiller Chronicle, The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear. You look it up, okay, in a second. This is what they're obviously planning as their next Hunger Games. So you'll hear about it sooner or later.
So this will be exactly like the Hunger Games. I have no expectations. Don't want to see it, and you'll drag me to see it, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever!"
If they do it faithfully, it will be the greatest thing ever. But it's really hard to adapt into film. And anyway, I know we don't have much time left, but it's yeah, I'm very intrigued by that. Lionsgate losing the Hunger Games this year is making them branch out in all these different directions. And I mean, they're a small studio anyway. Even after the Hunger Games, they're still quite small, and they can easily go back to how they were before Hunger Games, and without imploding like Fox or Universal. If they Universal would be screwed if all of a sudden all their films flopped. But yeah, no, I don't think Lionsgate's in a crisis, but they're acting like they're in a crisis.
Yeah, they're getting so many things. They got like Naruto in development. They got the Power Rangers.
That's what I mean. They're acting like DreamWorks animation.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Lionsgate in the next couple of years. That's for sure. Yeah. So that is all we have time for today. If you
one more quick thing before we sign off. Did you see the? You probably didn't. Did you see the new Good Dinosaur trailer today?
No. I don't know.
No?
I try to miss the other trailers. I know.
I couldn't help it though. It's the Good Dinosaur. I'm so excited for it.
Even with
did you see the? Have you only seen the first trailer, the teaser?
The teaser and the first trailer, yeah.
The first trailer. You saw the first trailer, the one with the focus on the environments and stuff, and then.
Yeah.
What do you think of the design of Arlo?
I really don't know. It doesn't
It's
seem
a controversial topic because he seems really. A lot of people are saying online he seems really cartoony, and compared to the photorealistic environment, and I don't know whether
they're all cartoony. Remy from Ratatouille is cartoony. I don't think.
Yeah, but the environment's also very realistic in Ratatouille. It's kind of cartoony as well. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. It probably will fit in the final film. It's just a lot of people are complaining about the fact that like those legs are so cartoony. It looks like it was drawn by some people. Quote, it's like kind of a quote that someone wrote was like, "Oh, it looks like it was designed by a 6-year-old child." Basically, he was drawn. Arlo was drawn by.
Mistake of nitpicking.
I think they're nitpicking, and I think it's kind of like Jurassic World when we saw at the end the Chris Pratt and the motorbike with the raptors. It fits so much better into the actual film. I think that this will fit. Like Arlo's design will become, maybe if the film's popular, maybe it'll become iconic, as in Alan Nemo and like think about how cartoony Carl Fredricksen is, or Wall-E. Like, I know Wall-E is such a photorealistic environment, and yet you've got those humans that are so cartoony as well. Yeah.
That's all we have time for today. If you want to read our movie reviews or or news or Trivia Tuesday, whatever happened to that?
I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be. It's not going to be every single Tuesday now. It's just going to be whenever I remember on Tuesday. Changed.
I think you forgot until I just said it just then.
No. I remembered. I just keep remembering on days that aren't Tuesday.
Let's just have trivia every day.
Okay.
Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/everythingfilm. Until next time, bye.
Bye.